howdy, and welcome, friends, gamers, city planners, and other enthusiasts to the BoydofZINJ channel, where we're building the city of our dreams, and City Skylines II, where we're making the map of the inner sphere as the San Francisco map within City Skylines. This is your host, of course, BoydofZINJ, and let's load up City Skylines. There's been 2 patches. I'm feeling much better. Last episode I mentioned I was feeling a little sicky poo. And this is the city that we built so far. Now, off screen, I did make a few quick changes. You'll notice that I kind of terraformed this area of the southwest side of the Marik. Remember, this is House Marik. And why did I do this? There's a few reasons. Natural resources. You'll notice that this is ore. So we're planning on making a big ore thing here. And this will probably be the Duchy of Andoran in this area over here. And remember, it doesn't have to be exactly like the 3025 map as shown here. Well, yes, I am making the Free Rogues League at this time. I eventually plan on making something, we could already buy 5 tiles, but it's not time yet, to make House Steiner and Darkad somewhere over here. The goal for this, so let's talk about quickly what I did. So I terraformed this area. I also discovered a way to make trees in the middle of roads, and even to the sides if I want to. I believe, yeah, on this road I'll put the trees on the side. What kind of puzzled me was, in City Skylines 1, the roads were over here with the tree decorations. In reality, what's happening is it's actually here. This is how you change it. Notice how I can move it to the side, to the middle. So it's based on this. So I could put, lamp lights or something, depending on or grass in the middle. So that's one thing I did. The second thing I did was I added this mountain over here. And this is going to be a ComStar area. You'll notice that I named it High Proposed Avenue, Crescenter Walkway. So this is going to be a ComStar area. I also kind of redid the district of the Principality of Gitsin, because since this is going to be a ComStar region, it's going to have its own district here. Lastly, I worked over here, and I kind of spazzed this up again. I put this main road, I put trees in the middle for the Principality, or I'm sorry, for the Duchy of Tamarind. I had this one lane over here. And I also added this farm. This should be a vegetable farm. It doesn't tell you exactly what it's for, but trust me, it's a vegetable farm. Now, I had to get rid of stuff, so unfortunately, some of it's gone. I had a small plaza. Very interesting. Does it say flowers? So, if I remember correctly, this was for grain, which makes sense. The other thing I did was each district has its own policies you can have, and I'm going to be charging them a roadside parking fee, but that's a fine. What I did was I added parking lots everywhere, and as I kind of decorated around certain major areas as well to make it look nice. But look, here's a dog park. I had this parking lot over here. The one last thing I want to point out is we're going to be talking about city design architecture, or urban design architecture, if you will. What is urban design architecture? Urban design is the design of towns and cities, streets, and city spaces. It is a collaborative and multidisciplinary process of shaping the physical settings for life within a city, the art of making places for a city. Sounds easy, but we're going to be talking about this strange concept. First, let's think about this city that we're building here. Well, technically, this is City Skylines II, and I'm the person playing it, so I'm the design architecture. I'm trying to build a multi-city within a city. In other words, I'm not just building one city, right? If you notice, I'm building multiple cities. Now, I'm basing it off the Inner Sphere 3025 map, which has multiple planets, which all have multiple cities within each planet, right? So this is a multi-functional thing. So I'm trying to transform a huge galactic map into a game that is designed to have a single city. So this may end up looking like Coruscant after a while, but the goal is to have the entire Inner Sphere represented on this map. The 3025 Inner Sphere. The other thing I'm trying to do is I'm trying to roleplay with this game. I believe a city is more than just roads, buildings, and places, right? I also believe a city is grown with people. And this game, City Skylines II, has made it where you can follow people much easier and follow Sims with their versions of the people within the cities to great effect, which is why we're concentrating on certain specific individuals. Of course, important individuals. You know, on occasion we may follow a random citizen, and some of those random citizens may become influential in our make-believe city as well. But for right now, most of the people we're following are usually someone who's going to be influential within the city. While yes, I am a computer scientist and I like video games and I'm not a city architecture, I have looked into cities. When I was growing up, Sin City was a very important part of my early growing career, and I loved the game. So the little I did study of city architecture is normally when a city wants to build something, they'll hire a main architecture guy or department, right? And they have a vision of how a city's going to be built, the design process. And anyone who starts building has to follow that code. However, regions change, regions have different architecture designs. Then, of course, people get fired, retire, leave, and a new person comes in. And that new person has a different vision and changes. Like, did you know at one point in America, there was a debate about having either grids that are rectangular or grids that were hexagonal. In other words, you could have had hexagonal grids. However, the person who oversaw the design process did not like the way how hexagon grids looked and purposely told Congress all their faults and none of their benefits. As a result, Congress voted for a more rectangular grid design. Life could be completely different. Imagine if America was more hexagonal in their road designs. While some people may say, well, that would make going from point A to point B, straight lines, much harder. Yes, but there are other things that it has advantages for. And again, life could be completely different. The way how America was designed to go from A to B in long periods of distance. Imagine if that wasn't the case. Our entire world could be completely different. So what am I trying to really say here? What am I really trying to say? I'm just trying to say that I want the City Skylines II city to be more than just me plotting down a few roads, a few blocks, coloring in
zones and doing whatever. This is supposed to be growing organically, and I hope you'll enjoy it. And just to prove my point, what I'm trying to do, if you remember from the very beginning, and I'll show you a photo of the city when it was first designed, the Duchy of Tamarin more or less looks basically the same. Of course, we've added on to it, but look at all these roundabouts that we had. Roundabouts, not runabouts. These Space Nines, roundabouts. Now look at the city. Less roundabouts. While yes, some areas still have lots of roundabouts, not all of them do. And that's the way how I think a city should be growing. It should be growing organically. Some things stay the same, some things changes. And specifically, let's take a look at that Rimworld Commonality District. Notice how it keeps lots of the roundabouts, but they're using them as cul-de-sacs in this area. But if you now look at the Principality of Gibson District, and now we're going to be looking at the Principality of Gibson District, right? And notice how, even though it's still part of the Free Works League, still part of the same city, even near the the Rimworld Commonality, the Gibson area is a bunch of rectangular grids. And then originally it had roundabouts, but then we took them off. This is an old picture, obviously. Let's take a look at the most recent picture of Gibson, Principality of Gibson District. This area here is going to be ComStar, but notice how it's very grid-like with rectangulars. While yes, it does have some roundabouts still, there's very few of them. This makes this district very different than the Rimworld Commonality District. If you come to the Rimworld Commonality, you expect to see lots of roundabouts and lots of cul-de-sacs. You go to Gibson's, you expect to see more residential, sure, but you experience more grids. And then we move to the Duchy of Tamarin. Duchy of Tamarin, if you notice, is basically a big snake. It has this one road over here, curves down this way, curves over here, ends on a bunch of farms now. And yes, it has a few split offs and the bridge that goes into it. But again, it's a very different feel. You can almost tell the difference in architecture. I mean, sure, these are the same buildings, the same, European themed buildings, but you could tell the design style of the roads are different. Sure, the streets are all, Free Rogues League planets, but even the Duchy of Tamarin feels very different than the Rimworld Commonality. But yet, as a whole, are there roundabouts and cul-de-sacs in everywhere? Yes. So it does have a theme going. It is the Free Rogues League, so you'll get to see a few cul-de-sacs, even in the Duchy of Tamarin. But the Rimworld Commonality has it in plethora. Likewise, yes, there are some roundabouts here, in the Principality of Gibson, which is a Free Rogues League district, but it's more grid-like. Even ComStar, which is, very friendly toward the Free Rogues League, has very grid-like stuff, but no roundabouts. A very different feel. The ComStar area, at least. And again, why am I doing this? I just want to explain how I see the city, and I hope you will see the city the same way too. I want to be able to go to a district and say, oh yes, based on the way how this is built, this is district whatever. It says, oh look, a bunch of grids. We must be the Principality of Gibson. Oh look, lots of cul-de-sacs. We must be in the Rimworld Commonality. Oh look, it's one long road that connects everything else together, near the ocean. We must be in the Duchy of Tamarin district. And that's the goal of this series and this city. Yes, I'm trying to build the inner sphere, but I'm trying to also build it within the straits of this game, which is a city builder game, ultimately speaking. Thank you. Let's move on.
You notice that I did make some updates to the city, so we're going to run the simulation for a little bit and take a look at our sims. I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to be fast forwarding this part to make it easier on us. You notice that ComStar is now adding radio masts, or what they call the hyperpulse radio masks, into the area. And why is that? If you remember, ComStar recently purchased, ComStar as the organization is in charge of communication in the Battletech Universe. And in my game and lore, when the city was first introduced, there's a electronics store called Leho Electronics that opened up that had placed a patent on improving the bandwidth of communication for all citizens. And mysteriously, ComStar bought them out, and they had a fire, went out of business, and ComStar left the area. And then a few months later, they're introducing new revolutionary ComStar towers, the hyperpulse radio masts, to send out internet, radio waves, and signals, broadband, to the citizens of this area. Mysterious how that works. Let's continue watching the city grow. And again, ComStar is, finding out places where they want to put the radio masks at, so that way they could have coverage for this entire area, since communication is the key to ComStar. And I want to bring as much of it to the citizens of this area to make them happy, and also, so that way they can, have access to Wi-Fi and internet and all that sort of, stuff that would be interested. And notice how I'm placing this one on top of, near the tower of the hill of ComStar.
We're slowing it down a wee bit, but we notice we have a car accident. I have no idea. I wish there was a way to see car accidents as they happen, or get an alert, so that way I could click on it to look at the car accidents. And look, the police are showing up. It's from us. This person is not even from any of our cities. They're from outside the city and going to outside the destination. But yet, we're still helping them out. Interesting. This police car is from us. Alright, so what's our next goal? Our next goal is we need to develop the center of town. I consider House Marik, the Free Rogues League, to be a town. And we need to get the high school and the university up and running, which is going to be the center of town. So let's talk about the city of... So we could purchase 25 tiles. So we can buy tiles. So this is what we're going to do. So this is the center. So this is what I imagine the center of this map is going to be, more or less. And of course, this is all subject to change and what have you. And honestly, I think I'll probably move it up a wee bit like this. So if you consider that the center, so this is where I want the high school to be at. One of these 4 areas. Maybe make it something like, so I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. And that would be a natural 8. Now the real question is, do I want it like this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to purchase these tiles. The next thing we need to look at is the topographical map. I'm not going to develop this area yet. Oh, look, another Castle Bryan. We have one over here, don't we? We moved it over here. So we won't lose it. I'm going to move it here for now. Okay, let's look at the topographical. We're going to do something that I should have done previously. I'm going to zone this out to make it better. Oh, actually, before we do that, let's take a look at high school. This is the high school. We're plopping it down no matter what. And we're also going to get for sure we're getting that. We want our students to graduate. Oh. So that's the front of school. Do we want on the side or in the back? I think the back would make more logical sense. So this is the high school. And for now, we're going to move it over here. And I want it facing down. North-south. Where you have to go north to get into it. So, something like over here. Alright, I'm going to fast forward this as I do the topographical updates. This is going to be a challenge for sure. So I made a little miss boo-boo here. I designed this incorrectly. Remember, I wanted the high school, which would be there. And I got the school library upgrade, by the way, to be somewhere like right here. Actually, basically where this road is going north is where I want the high school. I mean, technically I could put it here, but that kind of defeats the purpose. So I'm going to have to redesign this a wee bit. As I'm redesigning it, I made a schematic for this series. Please enjoy. Remember, the cinematic help explains the history of how we got here and how I'm taking this into account, the lore and history of Battletech into City Skylines II. I hope you enjoy it.
In 2108, humanity began colonizing the stars. Their reach would eventually span a vast region of space known as the Inner Sphere. During its golden age, under the governance of the Star League, the Inner Sphere experienced unprecedented peace, prosperity, and technological advancement. But with a great rise comes a great fall. Beset by greed and mistrust, humanity splintered. The Star League crumbled. Technological advancement slowed. The great houses, each vying for supremacy, turned on one another, engaging in a series of conflicts.
Welcome back. Okay. So how am I going to fix this? I already have a few ideas. For right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a roundabout here. And then I'm going to of course, nothing's being aligned. I'll get this. Oh, it's because I'm right at the contour. So let me fix this. I'm going to be fast forwarding this. Hope you enjoy. thank you very much for staying with me, folks. I know this episode's getting long, so we'll be ending it shortly. Just to let you know, it's Thursday. A new patch just came out for City Skylines. Mostly it's bug fix patch. There is some performance issue and fix. Mostly dealing with garbage, which hopefully will help us out because we have zero garbage, and I'm just leaving it with zero garbage collections. No, my city has no way of collecting garbage, processing garbage, or doing anything, but yet no one cares. What's this? Pipe's not working. Whoopsie. This is the worst part about the game. You can never tell if these pipes are connected or not. I guess they're connected. I thought they were connected last time. Oh well. So the other thing I'm doing too is I'm doing an audible on my work real fast. And what I mean by that, the zoning. I'm going to unzone all this. And why is that? It's because this is supposed to be the downtownish area, so I need to build it downtown. And I think about it for a while. One thing I do want to do before we end the episode is I want to put transit on here. I want to put a bus station here. We did unlock bus stations, and I want to put a university. We put the high school here, but I want to put an actual university here. And I think it would be appropriate if the university is right next to the bus station. And I'm going to do the same thing as what I did in the plaza. So I'm going to fast forward this real fast. I guess it's a college, not a university. That's right. And this is just going to be a simple college that we're putting in the area. And let's see what upgrades it has. Well, we're adding the library. And while it's expensive, ooh, look at that. I think it is necessary. We want our students to graduate. And I'll put the library on the side here. Can we add 2 libraries? We could add 2 libraries. But is that too much? Yes, I think it is. Again, I'm fast forwarding.
I had to turn off the game and think about it for a few moments, and I was also working real live, and then I'd come back to the game and I rezoned a few things. I also discovered a patch just came out, and I'm not sure if it was in the patch previously, but we can now pick what style theme we are. So since the Free Rogues League is closely associated with both European and American stuff, I'm putting some North American features into it. That being said, my money, I'm very dangerously low, in the red almost, which isn't good. I don't know what happens when you go negative. We'll find out soon, I guess. I also created bus lines. That's pretty much what bankrupt. These and the high school and the college. I also named the high school. Janos Marik was the last leader of the Free Rogues League in 3025. So these people know Janus. They also know his heir was Thomas. But again, Janus Marik was the leader of Free Rogues League, House Marik, at 3025. Likewise, there was the Free Rogues Technical Institute, so we named the college the Free Rogues League Technical Institute. Oh, and here's a ComStar bus station. You know what? And we'll leave it 10. We need the money, and we also have another bus station here. See this one? I put the feet in. Oops. And just to show you the lines real fast, I'm probably gonna run out of buses though, but these are all the bus routes. I have one over here, which is just a circle in the Tamarind, and then I basically have two circles, one going clockwise, one going counterclockwise. Same thing over here, one going clockwise for the Rim Road, one going counterclockwise. For Gibson, clockwise, counterclockwise. The episodes get very long. What we're going to do is we are going to unpause it and see if we can recover for the money, and hopefully at least get the rank number 6. We can get an influx of cash. And we also want to let the simulation to run. Again, there is a patch, and we'll see how the patch is going to be working. We also have a bus depot. Where was it? Oh, it was up here. The Holy Order bus depot. And we also zoned in a few areas. This is the ComStar area. I don't have a district for that yet. The Marik Commonwealth is the new area we put in. And remember, this is going to be our downtown area-ish. So, very little residential. Yes, I do have some residential. But this is primarily going to be the downtown area for this area. Remember, this is the Free Rogues League. So, I guess the downtown is going to be right about here-ish. And of course, the center of town is the college and the high school. And there's a ComStar bus station in the middle. And we also have services, firehouse, radio mast, and the police station here. Couldn't afford anything else, so let's play and let's hope we can get some money. And let's see what our city councilman, senior city councilman, is doing. Oh, he's at the... What is he doing here? He's going home. So this is our senior council member. Uh-oh. Fire.
Increasing areas of forest are being engulfed by flames. The thick smoke rising from the fire makes the air dangerous to breathe. Citizens are advised to vacate any premises near the fires and remain at a safe distance until emergency services manage to get the fires under control.
Oh look! Archibald Trejo's taking the bus for the first time. Let's see how long the bus takes. So this is the senior council member checking out the new bus system. Oh, there's an ambulance. Now the buses just started spawning, so it's probably going to take a while before they get to him. We'll fast forward a little bit. That's not a bus. What is that? City Census Bureau. Data is showing that people have begun dying more than usual. This might be an increase in road accidents or may simply be caused by poorly organized healthcare or fire and rescue services. You'll like that. There's a garbage truck that I didn't purchase or have any buildings for. People are coming to this bus station. Oh, there's a fire over there. We're going to fast forward till we see a bus. And I see a bus coming in, finally. Let's see if Trejo goes in. I think there's more than one bus line here.
I do remember putting more than one bus line in this bus stop. As a result, the bus that stopped previously may not have been for this council member or for this rider. But eventually, I'm sure a bus will show up. That bus wasn't for senior council member Trejo, but I'm sure the next one will. Here comes another one, I believe. Let's find out.
So multiple bus lines were coming on here, and he got on.
We're going to follow him, and the episodes get very long, so we're just going to run the simulation for a little bit longer. Please bear with me. Besides, this is the fun part. You get to see the Sims in action. So there you have it. Senior council member Trejo got on the bus, waited for the bus, got on the right bus, went through a few stops, went home, walked home, and made it to his house. So the simulation's doing pretty good. Again, a good game, has some bugs, but they're patching it up. I have no doubt it'll be in a perfect state soon. So this is going to be ending my episode. We have two main problems right now. One, we have absolutely zero garbage collection, but no one seems to care. We're not piling down garbage, which is good and bad. We're supposed to be piling garbage. Second, I spent too much. We're dangerously close to zeroing out and going bankrupt. So stay tuned. The next episode could be the last episode as we go bankrupt. In the grand dream of the inner sphere as seen as imagined using City Skylines II. Until next time, folks, thank you very much. This is BoydofZINJ signing off.
It's that time of the video where I say adios. Thank you for watching. And if you're hearing this, I really like to say thank you. Staying at least this long or seeing the end. I really appreciate it. So you guys, YouTube
guys keep it good. Please like, subscribe, click on the bell icon to notifications. It really does help content creators like myself. I need the help. If you have any suggestions about my YouTube content or my channel or about this video, I'd love to hear it. Please leave a comment. Regardless, I'd like to thank you for watching. Stay safe, be entertained, enjoy life, and until next time, adios, goodbye, hope your R&D is better than mine.